Hi, hello everybody, and welcome. Thanks for taking some time to share with me. We always say surrender. Let go of this identity that you're holding on to, because when you do, you realize that it was really the thing that was causing all of your mental, emotional suffering. Yeah, it causes the problems. So I wanted to share something with you, an analogy or a metaphor. Oh gosh, about 5, 6 weeks ago, every summer, I go away for about 10 days or so with some family, and we go up into the mountains with a big river, and we spend the time out there in the wilderness, paddleboarding on the river. It's really wonderful. So I have a 5.5, 6-year-old nephew. And so over the last couple years, we've been getting him used to getting in the water. But you can imagine, right? As little kids, I can even imagine, terrified of the water, absolutely terrified. What's going to happen if I get in? Completely unknown. Well, you hold on, right? No, I'm not getting off the paddleboard. Now he has a life vest on, completely safe, surrounded by adults. We're always with him. And but the idea is in his mind, he has created a fear of water just based on, I don't know what it is, right? I don't know how to work within the water. This is just like our identity that we're afraid to let go of. We're afraid to let go of what we're used to being and what we know. He, my nephew, knows about being on dry land, right? And he can kind of deal with being on the paddleboard even though he's surrounded by water. But as long as he's on the paddleboard and there's a sense of solidity to it, right? And he's above the water, he feels okay. He can stay calm. But as soon as he starts getting his knee, anything above his knees in the water, holy cow. And so this is what happens with us. We say surrender your identity, but we have become so attached to the sense of safety and security that comes with being able to say, I know who I am, based on the thoughts that I'm holding about myself. That's the second half that we don't realize. This whole sense of I or me is an identity, an ego, a paradigm, a self-image. It's something that we have since we were roughly about 1.5 to 2 years old, have been collecting ideas about ourselves and saying, oh, well, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is how I want my life to be, this is not how I want my life to be. And we take that on as part of our identity, and we go, these are all the thoughts that I think about myself, and so that's what I hold on to. It's like a security blanket. I remember when I was very, very young, probably 5 or 6 years old, I used to have, Linus in the Peanuts cartoon, Charlie Brown, Linus carries around his security blanket. I had a security blanket just like that. And to the point where it was so holy, just had holes in it and everything, that at night I would like wake up strangling myself with it half the time because my head got into one of the loops. I was like, finally, I'm like, I am done with this. And I remember walking to my mom going, I do not want this anymore. And even with that, I was still kind of like, what am I going to do without it? So that's the idea. This identity is kind of like we're holding on to it. We put it on in the morning when we wake up. We go, oh, this is who I am. And without it, the mind is saying, oh no, I can't be without that, because that's all I know myself to be. So now getting back to my nephew and the water. It's the same thing when you start letting go. Letting go, surrendering your identity can seem, oh, scary. But in fact, it's the best thing. Because when you do that, the freedom to flow through life, you realize that life has, in a sense, a buoyancy to it. Life keeps you up and above the currents and the ooh, right, of the water, of life, of the fear and frustration and suffering of life, the mental, emotional suffering. So over the last couple years, 2.5 years or so, his dad gets in the water. His dad has a life vest on. And so the first year it was, showing his son, look how the life vest keeps me floating. There's no way I can go underwater. And if I try to go underwater, it pulls me right back up. So that was that first kind of okay. But until my nephew, or until we experience the actual direct experience of, in a sense, being in the water and knowing the buoyancy and saying, okay, this is really wonderfully safe, and wow, now I can really enjoy being in the water and the flow of the stream, and floating and putting my toes above water, all this kind of stuff. Until I get the direct experience, there's going to be fear of the unknown, even though the unknown is wonderful. So what do? His dad slowly now has gotten him to stick his legs in the water, and then he took him in the water, and his son, my nephew, panicked and just grabbed him like Velcro. Do not let go of me. And he was, right? Even though his dad was holding on to him, but they're floating in the water. So now he's feeling of the water, which is not like being on a solid paddleboard or on dry land. So now he had to get directly experience that and get used to it and start to go beyond trust, know that, oh, there's no way I can go underwater. And then slowly but surely, as the next year will come on, he's now being able to be in the life vest and floating. His dad is right there with him. Yeah, holding on to him, but not like holding on, right? And so now they're floating down, holding hands together instead of clinging. And as this progresses now, he's getting so comfortable, he'll be able to put his face all the way in the water. That was the big fear, right? He can put his face completely in the water because he knows that no matter what, he can't go under the water. The buoyancy always keeps him, all he has to do is lift his head up. And this is what we're doing in life now. As you begin to awaken to your authentic nature, you can put your face in the water and look underwater and see all the ooh and the shadows and all this kind of stuff. But you're no longer afraid of it because you know that all you have to do is lift your head up. And even if your face is in the water, you're no longer in fear of the water because you know you are above it in a sense. And this is what happens when you truly begin to realize your authentic nature. You're experiencing all the ooh of life, but at the same time, you have no fear of it anymore because you know that you are the life that is the buoyancy that holds you above. I hope you're grasping that, but I really wanted to share that with you. And I have a couple other videos this week that kind of work alongside that too. Really grasp this kind of stuff because it is so wonderful when you truly start to go, oh my gosh, I get it. Let go and experience the freedom, experience the flow and the buoyancy of life that always keeps you up above, safe. You are the safety and security already, your authentic nature. It's the identity that's all the below the water that goes, oh, I don't know, and what happens if? And you can let go of that and float above it. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for spending the time, guys. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, all you have to do is reach out. You can direct message me, put a little post in the video here below. Let me know. I'll see it and we can get right into a conversation. If you want to have a quiet one-to-one, just you and I, again, just direct message me and say, hey, let's have a private talk. I'll be happy to talk to you. All right. Take good care, guys. Bye-bye.